Welcome into the Third and Thirsty podcast. Your one pot stop for Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, Kansas City referee, and Taylor Swift free AFC West banter. I'm Alex Bell. I'm a fan of the Denver Broncos, who are first place in the AFC West, place in the AFC Conference, owners of an 11-game win streak, owners of the best record in the NFL. To my left, Omar Rubio's fan of the Chargers. To my right, Edgar Larios, fan of the Raiders. And we're going to go over Week 15 here. Broncos get another big win over the Packers. The Chargers get a huge win over the Chiefs and knock them out of the playoffs, knock them out of playoff contention. They are officially done for the season. And then the Raiders got blown out and shut out by the Eagles. So let's get into it real quick. And then we'll talk about the playoffs a little bit because we are getting to that time now for sure. Omar, go ahead. Take us into the Chargers' big win over the Chiefs.
I mean, you touched on it already. They're out of the playoffs.
They're out. The Wicked Witch is dead.
That's what we all wanted from the beginning of the season. Yeah. Them to be out of the playoffs and their dynasty and their whatever they got going. Hey, we might have to change our intro now to not only is our pod Taylor Swift and
Kansas City
Taylor Swift free, but so is the playoffs now.
The playoffs are now Kansas City referee and Taylor Swift free.
Yes, they are. And then the Chargers were the ones that put that nail on the coffin. Mm-hmm. So glad they did. It was such a good win. You could tell everybody was pumped. You could tell everybody came out from the beginning of the game, especially defensively, to let the former playoff attendees, whatever the fuck you want to call them. You guys know I'm not that great with words, but
no.
But let them know that they are out. Close the door on them. Push them out. Kick them off the cliff. It felt so good after all those years of them getting after us and getting after all of our teams. It felt so good for the Chargers to be the ones that, like I said, close the door on the playoffs for them. And he was even funnier after the end of the game when Chris Jones is saying we still have a fighting chance.
Great.
You guys are eliminated. Oh, what are the playoffs? Oh.
I kind of found that hard to believe. Like, how do you not know? Right? I don't know.
I have no idea.
But it's fantastic.
Yeah.
That somehow he didn't figure that out before.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
He had like tunnel vision. He was like, no, we still got this. It's too late.
No.
You serious?
Yeah, so the Chiefs are done. The Chargers look pretty good again, or at least Justin Herbert, and the defense stepping up pretty solid.
Yeah. The defense was, like I said, from the get-go. They were going to let them know who owned the AFC West now. At least division wins. We're still undefeated within division this year.
Are you going to try to make the argument that the Chargers own the AFC West right now?
We haven't lost to anybody in the AFC West.
Check the standings, bro.
Yeah, but I'm just saying we own the AFC West. I'm not saying we're the first place team. Obviously, I know what the numbers say, but I'm just saying that we haven't lost to the division yet.
Bro, you're tripping. Yeah, you got some divisional wins, but that isn't the only thing that matters. The Broncos own the AFC West right now. You're at
Alex is like took that offended. He's like, what?
Yeah, I'm pissed now.
Great.
Yeah, but go ahead. And
undefeated in the AFC West.
Sure.
I know. It's a statistical fact.
It doesn't mean they own the AFC West, but go ahead.
According to you, but I'll keep going. Yeah, the defense came out hitting hard, especially Tony Jefferson, man. Those hard hits that he put on Rasheed Rice.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't know where is it.
That was amazing. Now Rasheed Rice knows what it feels like to get hit by something that's like an immovable object.
Yeah, karma coming back to get him, man.
Twice.
Yeah,
twice.
Yeah, seeing him get just laid out the last couple of weeks has been pretty fun.
Yeah, that second hit, which got Tony Jefferson ejected, which, I mean, at the end of the day, he did hit him in the head, but I don't think it was a dirty play, something to get ejected for. The receiver was going down as the safety, Tony Jefferson, was going lower to hit him in the body. So it's like it's just a football play. Yeah, they have to throw the flag, but I don't think it was something to eject him. I think they lost control of the game there, the refs did. And that was something they had to do to gain the control back of the game. I don't think it was the play whatsoever.
Yeah.
But that didn't change anything on defense. I felt like everybody rallied around that, and guys like Deion Henley came up with a pick. Derwin James came up with a pick to seal the end of the game. Um, yeah, the defense really showed out, and the offense did just enough to get the enough points to get the win because the defense second half let up no points. Like that was a second half shutout against the last year's AFC championship or champions. You know, that defense is something that I feel like they can hang their hat on now. And I feel like this is something that can take them into the playoffs and to not just make the playoffs, but make a deep run on the back of this defense.
That's gonna be tough, being that the offense can't keep anybody from killing Herbert. But they have been playing well lately, that's for sure. Um, our buddy Rich Wolf just chimed in and said, "Yeah, he takes back what he said about the Chargers. Mitchell is goaded, and time for the Raiders to snatch, bro." um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Raiders are gonna have a lot of options at head coach. So yeah, I mean, in the Chargers, when you look at their defensive stats, they're 9 in points per game. So I mean, top 10, but barely. Yards per game, they're only giving up 279. And then looking at like yards per rush, they are giving up 4.5 per carry, which in the playoffs, when you're playing against teams that are probably going to be trying to run the ball in bad weather, the Chargers are going to be on the road most of the playoffs. Looking at teams like Denver, cold weather, but not as cold as a place like New England. Um, Trying to think of other divisional leaders right now.
Well, they just played in
the South. You don't have to worry about.
Yeah, they just played a game in the teens, which is I think it was like the third coldest recorded game the Chargers have ever played in.
Yeah, no, I mean,
So I mean, they already did that, and they played that type of game. I think they're better built for that type of weather now, especially the way the offense. You said, I said it myself. They didn't do much. They did just enough. They came in with heavy packages in the first half. Came in with like well, basically
6,
six,
7.
6 to 7 linemen, basically, and telling the other team, "We're running the ball. I dare you to stop me." I mean, it didn't work every time, which like positive yardage, but there was a lot less times where they got pushed back and got negative yardage. That in itself is a win. If you're just getting back the line of scrimmage instead of getting pushed back 2 to 3 yards, that's a win in itself. So I think if they lean into that a little bit more and kind of fine tune it, because it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't great, but I felt like it was another wrinkle in the game which they can lean on. And the one wrinkle that they brought back was finally feeding the ball to Ronde Gadsden. Like I felt like he's gotten lost there last couple weeks. He didn't have a over the top game. I think it was like 5 catches for around 60 yards, something like that. But just getting him involved in the game just opens up everything else because he's that guy that opens up the middle, or he gets in the middle of the field where it's usually gets those soft spots in the zone or is lined up against a safety who he's taller than or faster than, and he can get that first down or get just some extra yardage out of that. So I'm glad they got him back involved, but at the end of the day, this defense won the game. There's no doubt about it that if they keep playing this way, I feel like they can, at least the defense can take them all the way.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely stepped up big and stopped big bad Gardner Minshew there at the end of the game when Mahomes got hurt. So
Hey, you can only play who's ever on the field on the other side.
That's fair. That's fair.
Sure, that means the Raiders get to play Minshew in the last game of the season.
Revenge game.
That's gonna be a revenge game for Minshew.
It's the most pointless, meaningless game on the schedule in Week 18. So yeah, I mean, the Chargers. I gotta admit, I've been wrong about the Chargers when we did our midseason predictions. At that point, I think I had them finishing 9-8 or 8-9 out of the playoffs. That's obviously not going to happen. Looks like they're going to squeak into the playoffs now. So
I don't know about squeak in. They're definitely going to get in.
They're in the 5 seed. So yeah, I mean squeak in. I mean they're going to get in.
No, yeah, I mean, like I said, so like I mean, I've been saying this for like the last couple of weeks. If your defense keeps it up, I don't see any game that you guys can really win. It's almost like
I can't see them winning the Texans game.
It's almost like seeing. It's like almost like the Broncos. Like your guys' offense with your guys' injury is not doing the greatest, but your defense is putting them in situations where they can, you know, score or do all this stuff. So it's good that your defense is still like it's helping the whatever the offense can do. But I mean, yeah, when it gets to the playoffs, that's when it's going to be a lot harder. But I mean, this
True.
defense is playing a lot better. It's playing a lot better this whole month. So I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of Charger fans out there are very confident that this defense can go up against anybody.
It's a funny sentence to say. A lot of Charger fans. There isn't a lot of Charger
I was
fans.
about to say, I'm like, but
The Charger fans, all
yeah,
6 of you.
yeah.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more
But
than you guys think.
in the end of the day, like it's gonna be it's gonna be exciting to see who they play.
Yeah, it's funny. Like all the injuries we've talked about them all year for the Chargers on the offensive line, but I feel like they've had all year to kind of adjust. You're not going to have a great offensive line. Not going to have a great offensive line showing whatsoever. You kind of have to deal with that, and at least now you've had time to be able to at least go through different scenarios, try different things, and see what works best. See what and nothing works best, but what doesn't get Herbert killed, and that's
Yeah.
barely happening.
Yeah, I think the main goal for the Chargers at this point,
Yeah.
because it looks like they're going to make the playoffs, but the main goal is to keep Herbert healthy. Because if he goes down,
To make it
and
to
knock
the
on,
playoffs.
yeah,
Yeah.
knock on wood, we don't want anybody to get hurt. But
Yeah.
I mean, if he were to go down, the season obviously would be over.
And who
Whether or
knows?
not they made the playoffs, because there's no way they're going into New England or Denver or Buffalo and going in and winning a playoff game with Trey Lance. It's
No,
just
no.
not happening. So they got to keep her healthy, and hopefully they're able to do so.
Yeah, hopefully his hand heals up by the time the playoffs comes around, and it's more of a well-rounded offense, maybe doing things like design runs, things like that.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add for the Chargers? I want to touch a little bit on the Chiefs on the other side of that game now that they're officially dead, but have anything else on the Chargers?
Now, just that last play, I feel like it's going to be the last time that Derwin James went up against Travis Kelce there. And the last play he's going to face him against was just he picked him off. It doesn't matter to me who threw the ball to him, but picked off. But I think that's going to seal the deal on Kelce this year and for his career.
You think he's done after this year?
I think so.
Yeah, I honestly think so too.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, depending on how severe Mahomes' ACL injury is, I mean, he could even miss some time next year. I mean, it's
Yeah.
definitely a possibility. ACL. I mean, the season starts in 9 months? So
Yeah,
he
he's
could
definitely-
hypothetically miss at least a month or two of next year. I mean, if you're Travis Kelce, do you really want to go through a season where you're waiting for Mahomes for half the season? You have no idea what it's going to look like. Yeah, so I wouldn't blame Kelce. I mean, it's not like he needs the money. He's marrying a billionaire.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
He's got plenty of money with his
whatever,
podcast.
whatever he does after football.
His little podcast. I mean, nothing like Third and Thirsty.
Nothing like Third and Thirsty, but it's obviously not a financial thing. Do you really want to go put your body through hell and play another season and get beat up for a good chance of missing the playoffs again? I think you're right. I think it's time. Which it'll be nice to watch a Broncos Chiefs game and not have half of it Taylor Swift just sitting in a box yelling about shit. So, but on the flip side with the Chiefs, I was kind of thinking, one, Netflix is so pissed because they got that Broncos Chiefs game. They probably got that game thinking the Chiefs are going to be fighting for the 1 seed. The Broncos are going to be fighting to get in. Mahomes versus Bo Nix. Everyone's going to be tuning in. Now they get Gardner Minshew on a team that's already out of the playoffs. Hypothetically, we'll get into it, I guess, next episode, but there's a possibility that the Broncos clinch the number 1 seed this week. It would take a couple of different things happening, but I mean, there's a possibility that neither team is playing for anything on Christmas, which I would really like because I don't want to have to stress out about a football game on Christmas. But yeah, Netflix is super pissed. And then, in regards to the Chiefs and their NFL bias, I think we're really going to find out when the schedule comes out next year, whether that bias is officially dead or not. Because I was talking about Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be out for at least the first, I don't know, 4 to 6 games you could imagine. Who knows?
Possibly.
It's so far down the
Yeah.
road. It's so
Yeah.
far down the road. And obviously, going back to injuries, we don't wish that on anybody. It sucks seeing him go down. But realistically looking at it now, he could miss time. They're going to have a third place schedule, so they're going to have some softies on that
I
schedule.
was literally thinking about that earlier.
But we are playing. I think we're playing the NFC West next week.
Yes, yeah. So they're going to get. We're all going to get the Rams, Seahawks.
That's gonna be
Cardinals.
those are all gonna be tough games.
Yeah.
All those teams are good.
But when it comes to the Chiefs, we'll find out if the NFL still has a little bit of bias towards them. If their first 6 games are just the easiest
Like a
games on their
walkthrough and
schedule,
everything.
like
I can see
if
that
they just throw
happening.
them a bunch of softballs to keep them in the playoff, keep them in the hunt until Mahomes
Or
gets
just
back.
above water.
Yeah, they get the Raiders twice.
Yeah.
They get the
In the
Cardinals.
first month, god damn.
I wouldn't put it past the NFL. They might give them week 1 and 2, both in Arrowhead. So I don't know, man. I think that'll be a good tell. You guys have anything else to dance on the Chiefs' grave?
They give
Now
them a
that they're-
21-point lead at this point, too. God damn.
Now that they're officially out, you guys have anything else to say?
No, I'm just glad that I saw that picture that I told you guys where it had Patrick Mahomes and it said eliminated in the bottom.
It's there.
Like that was a good thing out of the week.
Yeah, it's there. So nice to see. Do you guys think Andy Reid's back next year?
Yeah, I think so.
Too.
I
But
think
I think it's a conversation still. I mean, he's gonna be what, almost 70?
Nah, but he's
he doesn't
until
really-
he really can't, or his
Yeah.
like health takes a turn. Then I think he's that type of person where he's just like he needs it. He needs to be involved in football. He needs to be out there coaching.
A lot of studio jobs that would hire him the first day.
Well, at least for me, he doesn't look like somebody's gonna really
He's
wants
gonna make
to.
it past 70.
No, not that.
With
More
his
like
cheeseburgers.
more like somebody who doesn't want who's like slowing down as a coach. Like, I think
No,
he-
yeah, that's
he
what I'm
wants to keep
saying.
doing it for
Yeah.
a while.
Totally. I think he'll be back too, but I think it is. I think it's plausible that
it's a
he retires.
conversation that you can bring up, but knowing him is probably
Honestly, I feel like all the coaches that are in this division are the ones that thrive off of football. Like that's what keeps them going. That's what
I
keeps
think you
them.
have to be.
besides
when it comes
Andy
to the
Reid.
NFL.
No, but like at
The
that
dedication
age,
it takes. Oh yeah.
at that
for sure.
age,
Yeah.
and to be as good as they've been their entire careers, all 4 of these coaches, they have to. It's like they live, breathe, eat, sleep. Everything is football to them.
Is Andy Reid the last? Would you say like old school like head coach still in the NFL? Or would you consider like Mike Tomlin maybe one of them?
Definitely Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, Harbaugh, both
Yeah.
Harbaughs.
Well, he came back, but I was thinking like how like Belichick was in for the longest, and then like he's gone. Now if Andy Reid leaves, you're kind of like damn, like we're getting to a point where like it's a lot of young coaches basically. What I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, there's still the old heads around.
Yeah, so
There's
I
still
mean,
the old heads
yeah.
around. A couple in the division. I mean, Pete Carroll's not going to be
Yeah,
there.
like Sean Payton, yeah, like that's another coach. Yeah, but I was just wondering. I was like, damn, like we're getting to a point where there's a lot of young coaches now.
Yeah, they are. They are. Okay, move on to the Broncos.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, let's do it. Before we do, shout out anybody that's watching on YouTube. Really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that could help us. We're still trying to get the small channel off the ground, so anything helps. Really appreciate it. Shout out to our boy Rich Wolf. Left a couple of comments. One is that only the Broncos could smoke the Packers, Chiefs, but almost blow it versus the Jets and the Giants. Yeah, it's been an up and down season. A lot of wins through those downs still. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate you. And we do a couple of these a week. So
yeah.
Make sure-
Leave a comment, start a conversation with us. Like we're all about it, man.
Mhm.
Just
yeah, follow us on Instagram, Third and Thirsty Podcast.
Make fun of my pain.
Yeah, and if you're a Raider fan, wallow in that pain. So yeah, let's get to the Broncos. Big win over the Packers. Going into it, I said it would be the toughest game for the Broncos all season,
definitely was.
and would be would prove to be their biggest win if they pull it off. And I certainly think that was the biggest win of the season. The Packers are a really good team, man. I think that was really the first time I watched them play this year, just because we don't pay much attention to the NFC until it's time to play them and beat them. But Jordan Love was carving up the Broncos there in the first half. Micah Parsons, he went out there and was just in every single play before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Just absolutely crushing it. So They've got a really good team. They got some really good skill position players. They got a really solid defense. So it was really encouraging to see Bo have the game that he had. We'll talk about Bo a little bit more here. But my main takeaway is one that I had going into the game. I told you the key was going to be, I always say it every week, it feels like red zone. The Packers were moving the ball up and down the field all first half, but they were only able to get field goals. The Packers were 1 of 4 in the red zone. Broncos were 4 and 4. You flip that, and this is a blowout. So,
Yeah.
Obviously Pat Surtain's interception was key, really flipped the game around. And then in the second half, they only gave up 114 yards passing and picked them off twice. So they really buckled down there. Now that the game's over, kind of looking big picture, there was injuries that happened in this game on both sides. Obviously, the Michael Parsons one is by far the most significant. And outside of Mahomes, which I think now that the Chiefs are out of the playoffs, when it comes to the season, Mahomes' injury isn't significant at all because they're already out of the playoffs. Obviously, it's just going forward with Mahomes. But for this season, affecting this season, I don't know if I can think of a more significant injury that's happened in the second half of the season than Michael Parsons. It feels like their Super Bowl hopes are just done.
I don't know how serious Devontae Adams' injury is with the Rams.
Yeah, but they have another wide receiver that is actually playing a little bit better than him too.
But
So.
I think they're do a lot better when they have like their two receivers. But
Well, even that, I don't know how it's probably not as significant of an injury, but was it Christian Watson?
Yeah.
For the Packers, I felt like that was a bigger hit to them
than Michael Parsons.
Yeah, because offensively, after he went out, their offense was bland. They didn't have like their security blanket. They didn't have their go-to guy.
Their tight end Kraft. He also
they've suffered a lot of big injuries. There's no doubt about that.
I don't know. I just felt like that whole first half, Watson was there to like kind of just bail him out of things, and then after he went out, it just seemed like nobody could get open. The defense for the Broncos was blanketing everybody else.
Yeah.
The only guy that could get open was Watson, and then maybe they had to, pull other guys in to kind of help cover him. That would leave other people open or one-on-one, getting a win there. But I feel like when Watson went out, that's what kind of turned the game around.
Yeah, no, there was a couple of pivotal moments there with injuries. But back to the Broncos side of things, 3 guys got hurt. One we already know the severity of is Brandon Jones, safety opposite of Hufanga. He's going to be on the injured reserve. So best case scenario, he comes back after one playoff game. So whether that be the Broncos play in the wild card round, he could play in the divisional, or if they get the bye, then he would be coming back to the championship game.
Does it go by game or by week?
It goes by game, which is why the injured reserve thing is so stupid.
Damn.
But being that they put him on the IR so fast, it feels like the chances of him coming back are pretty slim.
That's true. That's true.
Because if it was just like, well, like he might miss 3 or 4 weeks, then don't put him on the IR.
Yeah, because I was gonna say yes. Did they put him on the IR? But now that you say that,
it just opens up a roster spot. Which
I was gonna say that too.
It could be valuable depending on I don't know what they're looking at.
Running back.
They actually did sign a running back today, which is a little worrisome when it comes to Harvey. We don't know anything about Harvey yet, which is typically a good thing. Hopefully he's just on the injury report, maybe misses a game, but need Harvey. Being that Thomas is out, I have faith in McLaughlin, but Harvey's been so big, not only in the running game, but also as a receiving threat. So that could be a big one. I feel pretty good that he'll be okay. And then Justin Herbert, backup linebacker, special teamer, he rolled an ankle too. So a couple of big blows there. PJ Locke coming in for Brandon Jones played really well, and he was a starter last year. So that's kind of the best case scenario when it comes to depth, right? Like if you have a guy that's already started on the defense. So that's good. There is that possibility that maybe Justin Simmons, he's still not playing. Who knows? It would be kind of fun. I don't see it happening.
No.
But it would be fun to see Justin Simmons get a chance at actually playing in the playoffs. he played for the Broncos forever, never got a plant or a chance. So
I feel like the RJ Harvey is the biggest one for me.
well, it would be if he's going to be missing a lot of time, but
But that's
I
they call
feel
it a rib injury.
that's what it came out. Yeah,
Yeah, that's tough especially as a running back that you're gonna get hit every play.
yeah, it could be a nagging thing.
Yeah.
So they might even want to just play it safe and let him rest a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Which if that's the case, then Jaleel needs to step up and
Whoever they got on the practice squad.
they have
Sincere
Sincere,
McCormick.
yep, Sincere McCormick that they signed
He's
last
pretty
week.
solid. He just can't stay healthy.
Yeah, and he had a couple of good games there with the Raiders when he did see the field. So I hope it doesn't come to that.
Are you sincere about that?
I'm very sincere about that. Yeah.
He honestly reminds me of like Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs, pretty
But
solid
the
player.
only
A
problem,
couple of
the
really good
only,
plays against the Broncos
but
this week.
really, it's just his injury problem. That's literally he started against the Chiefs, and he got hurt like the first quarter,
Yeah, that's not
and
good.
he was running solid too. So I was just like, bro, you were just doing good. But
Yeah. So I mean, those injuries. Hopefully, they're not going to really affect the season. The Broncos have been pretty good with the injury luck this year. Another thing I wanted to talk about with the Broncos, it kind of pissed me off because I started hearing it last week after we recorded on kind of like the national media landscape talking about the Broncos. One of their arguments is that the Broncos hadn't had a signature win, and all of their wins were just against dog shit teams in bad positions. So I kind of wanted to go back to their schedule and talk about a couple of games that, when they happened, were much more significant at the time. So starting with the Eagles, that was definitely a signature win. At the time, they were undefeated, 4-0, defending Super Bowl champions with wins against the Chiefs, Rams, and the Cowboys. Rams were the number one seed in the NFC. Obviously, the Chiefs had just beaten in the Super Bowl, and it was still really early in the season. It was Week 5. Any arguments against that? No. Okay. This one you guys are probably going to have a problem with, but I have a pretty good case for this being a solid win.
Texans.
No, I think that's a solid.
Oh.
I think we could all look back at that and say that was a solid win. Texans are like the hottest team in the league right now. They got the best defense in the league.
No CJ Stroud. You
Through
still
half the
got the
game.
win.
Yeah, you still got the win.
You still got the
for
win.
sure.
Still got the
Not
win.
gonna, not gonna knock on that, but
Yeah.
still no CJ Stroud.
They still had that defense. Yeah. But the one I wanted to talk about was the Giants win. Go back to that week. Broncos had just came home from London. The Giants had just won 2 of 3. They had just beaten the Eagles, beat the shit out of them on a Thursday night game. They had long rest. Dart and Skydoo were just playing out of their minds randomly. Like they had that boost, that momentum. Both of them were just playing on fire. And the defense was playing really well at the same time. So, I wouldn't say it was a signature win, but now that the Giants are still 2-12 and they haven't won since, like obviously looking back at it, you say you beat a 2-12 team. But at the time, the Giants were peaking.
I mean, for
The
me,
Broncos caught them at the worst time.
for me, it should have never got that close.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, the Broncos had that crazy comeback. I saw it in person.
Of course they did.
fantastic.
But the thing is like I personally thought like that was supposed to be an easy win for the Broncos, and the fact that it actually got to that point where they scored 30 points, the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why for me, I mean, good win. Like, and then this is where I would like say, like, you guys are pulling out these wins, like even if you guys are offense is struggling or whatever struggling, but that one right there for me, it's like that should have been a guaranteed slaughter.
Again, at the time, the Giants were playing really well. But we'll move off of it. We're running short on time. Do want to respond to something our buddy Rich just chimed in with, something I've seen as well. Keep the lead. He has a couple of different shows now. He does one with DMBR, and then he does his one with Skip Bayless. And one of his points he's been making the last couple of weeks is that he wants to see the Broncos actually lose a game before the playoffs start. So they're not going into the playoffs on a 14-game winning streak. And he makes a pretty good argument. I mean, he played in the NFL, so who's to argue with him? But he says going into the NFL or going into the playoffs with a streak that long just makes it more difficult because now you're worrying about it, and it's in your head that you've won 14 in a row. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, look at the Patriots when I think they're undefeated now.
They were undefeated until they got to the Super Bowl and lost to the Giants.
So I'm pretty
It's
sure they were more
still
worried about.
continued through the playoffs. So I don't see,
Yeah.
it's just dog has his day.
Yeah, I
Your
mean,
dog has his day.
it's hard to disagree with Aqib Talib. He won a Super Bowl with the Broncos, so he knows what he's talking about. He's been in the locker room and how players actually feel about these things.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the same thing with any sport. You go on a streak, everybody wants to end that streak. Everybody puts a little more effort because they want to be the ones that kill that streak, and it'll lift that team up even higher than the streaky team if they win. So I feel like, and in essence, yes, because you're gonna get everybody's best. Of course, in the playoffs, everybody gives their best, but there's that little added, oomph into the game just because you want to be that team to
Yeah, I
beat
get that point, but also at the same time, it's like it's the playoffs. So
Yeah,
I don't
that's what
know.
I'm saying. It's just
like on the
any
list of
added-
priorities for a team going into a playoff game, I don't know if that's that a high one. It's winning and surviving, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
but also you also hear about all these people putting out was it chalkboard material, whiteboard material, any little thing that gives somebody a little added edge to give, maybe, instead of giving up 1 yard, you give up no yards, half a yard,
Right.
that half a yard could win the game.
Yeah. So I don't know. At this
I
point,
see it. I get it.
I totally get it. If the
Yeah.
Broncos were able to find a way to lose a game, but still get the 1 seed, then I'm all for it.
That's what I'm saying.
I was about to
But
say,
if you
I
guys
think
lose
if-
a game and the Chargers keep winning,
Right. Because I would hate for the
then-
Broncos to lose this week, the Chargers
was
win,
about to
and now all of
say-
a sudden it's like pressure's on. Now you have to beat the Chiefs and hope that the Chargers lose, or you just have to win the next 2 games. I don't want to be in that
I
spot.
don't really know the rest of the schedule, Broncos schedule, but isn't
have-
it mostly all AFC teams?
They have the Jaguars, the Chiefs, and then the Chargers.
I mean, besides the Chiefs, pretty much playoff teams. So I mean, at this point, the
Right.
only one you can drop is probably against the Chiefs. But I mean, that's
Even then, if they lose one game and the Chargers win out, or if they lose one of the next 2 games, the Chargers win both games,
I just don't. see
then
the
going
Chargers-
into week 18, it's winner takes the division.
right,
true.
and the Broncos could fall from the 1 seed to the 5 seed. It's a pretty big difference from
Yeah.
getting a bye and getting all your games at home to
If
Now
you
you're-
guys
now
drop,
you're
does the
away.
Patriots take the number 1 seed?
Depending on what they do.
There's tiebreakers.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. It could
I
be
don't-
the Chargers.
Yeah.
They're still alive for the 1 seed. They have a lot of things go their way, but yeah, I mean, if the Broncos could win this week and beat the Chiefs, and then Week 18 is meaningless, then yeah, go lose that game. I don't care. That's the only time I would be okay with a loss, because a loss at this point could be catastrophic.
Yeah. Chargers are just hoping for the Broncos to lose 1 game. That's all we need.
Right.
And win out. So
And those are some. Well, I
Yeah.
guess the Cowboys look less and less tough as time.
Yeah.
But that Texans game, I can't see.
And
I
if
can't
they're
see
already
the
out of the
Chargers winning
playoffs
that
by
game.
that point, something happens. I don't know what needs to happen for them to be out of the playoffs,
Who
but
are
if
you
The
talking
Cowboys?
about?
the Cowboys,
They had to win against the Vikings to make it. Now I don't think
Yeah,
they
they
can make
might-
it anymore.
I think
Might be
there's
down,
like
or there's a very
a
small backdoor.
Yeah.
chance.
They need the Eagles to lose out.
But even if somebody else wins a game, that might knock them out already. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
think we have to really look into it. but
Yeah.
I think the only way for them to win is actually to win the division at this point.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty much dead in the water,
Yeah, definitely.
but I mean that could make a team dangerous too.
yeah,
Now,
that'll
like
just be
every
another
possession
team.
is 4 down territory. I mean it makes the
Nothing
game
to
a lot
lose.
different,
True.
right? One last thing on the Broncos, and I'll make it quick because we're already pushing on 35 minutes. You guys looked at the MVP odds this week?
No.
Stafford
Justin
is the big favorite. Stafford is like minus 250 or something, so he's a heavy favorite. Next is May. Behind him is Allen, and then a distant fourth, your boy Bo Chapman Nix.
I'm kind of
Plus 10,000. Herbert is plus 15,000. So he's
They
ahead of
should-
Herbert now.
They should give Herbert more just because he's playing with one hand. Saying.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that Herbert is behind Bo. Bo's been playing really well the last month, but if you had to
Herbert
ask-
hasn't the last couple weeks, but they've been winning.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, I mean, Bo has been playing better the last couple
And
of
he's
weeks for
got
sure.
one hand.
He does have one hand. But yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. Obviously, Bo isn't
Yeah.
going to win MVP this year, but the fact that he's fourth in the conversation at this point is pretty
I'm
sweet.
kind of shocked that Josh Allen is third. Like, don't get me wrong, great
I
quarterback.
think it's
and
because he won
the
last
record.
year,
And the record. It's not. They're not in first place in their division.
right.
They're solidly in the playoffs, but they're not blowing everybody away this
I
year.
mean,
They're not winning every single game. They're not,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it kind of shocked me. Like, he's in third. I mean, I would see him
Oh,
still
you
running
think he'd
for.
be lower?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Then yeah. I get you
yeah.
on
Like,
that
I
one.
feel like he would probably be like fifth. I mean, I would see like Bo and Herbert.
We saw
pretty
the
much a
game
little
he had
lower.
this week.
Yeah, he still has the stats
He's the
though.
best
It's not
runner,
his
yeah.
fault
I
that
mean,
they're
like
losing.
the beginning of the season, it wasn't like, compared to like, I would say some of you like Herbert and Bo, like they've been having good games throughout the season. Where Josh Allen kind of had like a kind of rough start, and now this last game against the Patriots, he balled out. But I mean, throughout the season, he did have a couple of troubles there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on. We're already sitting about 36 minutes, so not much to talk about with the Raiders being that just got demolished.
The who? No, I'm just kidding.
That's the Raiders fans saying that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's not
so-
really much to talk about.
Yeah,
there.
let's not even talk about the game. Let's just talk big picture for a couple minutes here with the Raiders. And I guess just because I'm kind of
Should have
directing
traded
this
Max
here.
Crosby.
One thing I want to talk about the Raiders is
I don't run the Raiders, bro. I don't know
yeah,
what you're
well,
saying.
well, we've already talked about Max Crosby. Definitely need to trade him for the sake of everyone involved. But my question is, who's running the Raiders? When we went into this season, we were saying like the Raiders are on the right track because they brought in Brady. They brought in. I always get corrected on this. It's Spytech now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so Spytech, Pete Carroll. But who has the last say? Like when they get together or when they're making these decisions, who's running the team? Like when you look at the Chargers, who's running that team?
Yeah, it seems like Mark Davis is like. I think I'm going to take a step back. I don't think I should be making.
He
decisions.
should be making decisions.
And
but I'm saying,
but he's the one saying that.
I want
I'm going to step back.
before you go, I want
That's a
to
perfect chance.
I want to
That's a perfect chance.
finish my setup, my
Okay,
point, and
what's
then you
it
can
say?
keep going. Is who's running the Chargers? Who makes the final decisions? Who's running the culture there? You shouldn't have to think about this.
It's a mix of the two because they work together.
At the end of the day,
Harbaugh.
Okay, perfect. Broncos,
Harbaugh.
Sean Payton. You don't. It's not even. You don't even have to skip a beat.
Yeah.
This is the person who's not only making the decision, but he's
True.
creating the culture.
True.
He's the one that everyone in the building looks to when it comes to making decisions or what the team's going to be doing looking forward. I think that's a big problem with the Raiders. Is they have like 4 guys
Well,
Who all have-
I can give you the answer.
who all have
but-
different visions.
No, the problem is that the thing is that what happened is that Mark Davis is not making any decisions. Let's just put it out
Because
there right now.
he took a
He
step
already
back.
said he said so himself. I don't know shit about. I mean, he didn't say shit, but I don't know anything about football. But I'm gonna hire somebody who does.
And he should.
Now
Yeah.
he brought in Tom Brady because one, he knows football. Two, he's very well respected in the industry. Meaning that, like for example, Bears head coach, we never supposed to get an interview with that guy because on Tom Brady we are able to. But who's running this? Technically, Spytech, and the reason why I'm saying that is because Spytech didn't want to trade his draft capital. He didn't want to bring in any. Like, look at our free agencies last year. We did not sign anybody more than a 1-year contract. We did not spend more than I think our biggest contract was $22 million, and that was Jeremy Chin. So who I think is running this is Spytech. Spytech doesn't want he knows that he needs to build this team throughout the draft. But Pete Carroll he's that type of coach that, oh, let's go get this guy. Let's trade so and so this much. Oh, I need this guy. Let's sign him. Let's give him this much on the contract. But Spytech was, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Is they
You
have.
know, so
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're on the same page.
so I think personally, Pete Carroll, even when he was with the Seahawks, I guess his first year with the Seahawks, I think he had 73 different moves on that one season. He did a bunch of switches or moves in the team. This year, he's clearly frustrated that he's not allowed to do what he he wants, which is the reason why I think he's gone after this season. Like, people say he's gonna get fired. I think personally he's just gonna like retire. He's done. He doesn't like the fact that he has Tech telling him what he can't do.
Well,
He was never on board with Kelly being his offensive coordinator. Um, that was all like Tom Brady. Tom Brady was the one who like basically brought in to Kelly and offered him that $6 million contract. So at this point, we know that Spike is staying. We know that he's the one that's going to this upcoming season. He's the one that's going to be looking for the head coach and basically building this team out of his image.
Yeah, I mean I think that's why they're struggling a lot more than we thought they would going into the season. I think we had them pegged at like 6 or 7 wins.
Yeah, we
yeah,
at
maybe
least
6.
7 wins.
I thought it was like maybe 6.
It was 7-9. Because remember, I
Yeah,
was saying
7. That's right. We ended on 7. So
True.
because I was saying that either 8 or something like that, but I was like 7's still not bad.
Yeah. Well, there's
it's a
a reason.
directionless
There's a
franchise.
reason. No, there's a reason that they're not in sync. The general manager and the head coach, because the general manager didn't hire the head coach, or the head coach didn't have input on who his general manager was going to be. They're hired by. You said it was what was it?
Some kind of like I forgot,
Like an independent, like a consultant,
yeah,
right? A
something like that.
consultant.
Something, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, for the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh was hired first, and he had input on who he wanted to be as his general manager, and he chose somebody that was working for the Ravens, who his brother knew, so he had familiarity with him. So that's why I feel like they work well. I feel like that's what happened if I'm remembering right. Is that what happened in Denver? Who got hired first?
George Payton was already there.
He was already there, so he had say on who he wanted to bring in.
But for me, also like, well, obviously, like we didn't have the GM or anything like that. But the way I see it is like, Pete Carroll wasn't our first choice. But like, yeah, sure, it was Ben Johnson, but even though like we landed at Pete Carroll because that's basically all there was. Like if you really pay attention to like or saw that who we were interviewing, like there was really not much. It's either him, Vance Joseph, which wasn't going to leave the Broncos. Robert Saleh was offered the most money, and he's still in the Niners. Like they were trying to get a head coach, but at this point they landed on Pete, who was so confident that he was going to be able to turn this around when that happened. But also, I'm pretty sure he didn't think that he was going to be doing all this with one hand tied behind his back. So, like, do I think he did a good job? No. Do I think that the Raiders and the GM weren't in the same mindset? Sure, they weren't. But the thing is that P has a clock where Spytek can like put this. Spytek is going to be here if he does a good job for the next 8+ years. Where even if we do want to resign Pete Carroll, he's only going to be here for what, maybe 3-4 years.
Shit, if he's still
Yeah. So like at the end of the day, it's like we, as much as I thought, like I believe that Pete was going to be able not to really make us a playoff team, but like a lot better than we were last year. But at the end of the day, like I also had in the back of my mind that we weren't even close. Like as much as a lot of Raider Nation wants to be like, oh, this, dude, this offense was so ripped up from the last couple of coaches that you can't even tell what our identity on offense was or is at this point. So what we need is basically, I personally think we need an offensive minded coach, but that's just me, especially because we have a chance to getting a rookie quarterback, let him develop him, let him build him up. But that's just me. But I mean, there's a lot of good defensive minded coaches that are going to be available. At the end of the day, we'll see who's available and we'll see what happens.
I think the biggest thing that came out of this weekend for the Raiders is that Philip Rivers came back at 44 years old. So I think that Tom Brady's going to get that itch. He's like, if Philip Rivers can come back, I'm in way better health and conditioning that Philip Rivers is. I got this.
I don't gonna let him play now that he's an owner. I mean, if they can like make it happen.
They can.
Shit,
I think they can.
let it happen.
They,
I mean,
they just gotta. Hey, whatever he gets paid as a player, has got to go. You know.
But man,
Yeah,
did you see his stats?
His first game in freaking 5 years as a 44-year-old. Do you think he was gonna light it on fire? No.
Yeah.
He didn't have. What do you have? Did he have any turnovers?
Kept
Maybe
him in
one.
the game. Kept him in the game.
Exactly.
Let's move on, boys. We're
I know. I just
45
thought that
minutes.
was a funny thing I had for the Raiders.
IPAs and seltzers, and then
Get into
let's move on. IPAs stand for
Impact Player Award.
give them out to the best player of the game, or get a little creative sometimes. Seltzers go to people that blew it this weekend, and we would never give beer to, or at least at this point. So let's start with IPAs. Omar, go ahead and get us kicked off.
IPA. He got to enjoy it a little early this week because he got kicked out of the game for no reason. Tony Jefferson.
Did you give it to him last week?
Yes,
Nice.
because he got that game sealing interception. Yeah, so 2 in a row for T-Jeff.
He's getting that beer belly already.
Coming in, laying in that wood, and he got that game started for the defense. The rest of the defense finished it off once he got ejected. So Tony Jefferson get 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. 2 IPAs. So my IPA, usually I like to get a little creative and not go with like the obvious answer, but I can't go without giving Bo an IPA this week. He definitely deserved it. This is now like the 3rd time this year where the consensus is this is the best game Bo Nix has ever played as a professional, and it definitely was. 67% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, and 134 rating, 300 yards. Just diced up a very good Packers defense. Bo is definitely in that spot now where if you're hating on Bo Nix and you're saying he's not a franchise quarterback, you're saying he's trash, it's only because you're stuck on your pre-draft narrative. You didn't think he was good coming in, and you just want to be right. Bo Nix is definitely the guy. And he's proven it and proven it more and more this last month. He's definitely leveled up, and he really proved it this week. I mean, what are you going to say about Bo Nix after that game? He played great. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do the rest of the season. And I paid a Bo Chapman Nix.
Do you have to say his middle name?
As for me,
His name is too short.
There's nobody I can give it to, but shit, I can give it to my fantasy team. Shit, got me through the first playoff game. No, but I'll give it to fucking Crosby. His, that heart, we definitely don't deserve him. Fucking balling out every down, fucking calling out his teammates. That's a dog. That's a leader. That's what a Raider should be. Like I said, we don't deserve him, but hey, I cannot hate the fact that he's a diehard Raider. So, at this point, give him a whole fucking sandwich because I feel the only guy I'm going to give my IPAs to at this point.
That makes sense. Seltzers. Back to Omar.
Seltzer. Originally, I was going to go with all 3 players that were celebrating a Cameron Dicker miss. Not miss. But then I started to focus in on who it actually was. And I had one player in particular, Drew Tranquil, was celebrating what he thought was a miss by Cameron Dicker on a 49-yard field goal. But he forgot. Dicker plays that draw. And it came right back, middle of the uprights. And he was celebrating that he thought he missed it. You big dummy.
Stupid dumbass.
After all the shit that you were talking about once you guys when they won the championship 2 years ago, he's like, "Oh, this is way better than LA, way better than LA. How's KC now, bitch? Out of the playoffs. That's what you get. Take that, Seltzer."
That's brutal. Okay.
We're
all enjoying the Chiefs being knocked out of the playoffs. That's for sure. Oh man. Damn, we just had a Packers fan chime in. Say go Pack go. I mean, great team. I'll be rooting for them on the NFC side.
Because you already know that the Broncos beat them, so it'll be easier.
I mean, that's a good point. But I'm going to see Michael go down, and that kind of leads me to my seltzer. Seeing Michael go down suck. My IPA goes to anyone that cheered injuries this week. Injuries
You mean
suck.
seltzers? Your seltzer went.
Did I go
too?
IPA
You
again?
said IPA,
Oh,
man. We don't want to
man.
give IPAs to anybody that celebrates injuries,
No,
man.
my
Not
bad.
at all.
My bad. So seltzers.
Everybody
Good
gets
catch.
everybody that celebrates the injury gets a seltzer.
Good catch,
Yeah.
because I didn't
Yeah.
hear.
Okay. Thank you for the correction. Yeah, seltzer to anyone that celebrated injury, man. Obviously, we hate the Chiefs and hate that Mahomes has just dominated the division in the last 10 years. But celebrating him tears ACLs just low blow. And the same thing with Parsons, man. I mean, you know, Bears fans that were celebrating, Cowboy fans that were celebrating, one in particular, we all know. You get a seltzer, my friend. It's gross. I mean, these guys are human beings first. They got families to provide for. They got people from their hometown that root for them. They got things to take care of. I mean, injuries suck, man. So never want to see it. If you celebrate injuries, you suck. There's only one injury that you can't celebrate. That's Tyreek Hill. Continue to celebrate that every single day. And hope that he ends up in jail, prison someday. So moving on. Seltzer for or anyone that celebrated. And Edgar, go ahead.
Dude, I can't beat that one. I'll add a seltzer to that too. But if I just to get it out there, I'm gonna have to give a seltzer to all that Raider Nation that was saying put Kenny and thinking it was gonna change. You guys were sounding so stupid, thinking that you guys thought that Kenny Pickett was actually gonna save this whole season, when literally, like, at this point, you guys are just grabbing for anything. Just let it go. It's a bad, really bad year this year. Shit, at this point, if we're fucking lucky, we'll figure it out the next couple of years. But if not, it's gonna be a long fucking couple
Another
of
20
years.
years.
No, not another 20 years. Maybe Chargers, but not another 20 years. But at the end of the day, yeah, all you fucking Raider fans that were fucking crying, saying that Pickett this, Pickett that, just because he had one good drive against Denver, go go chug on the fucking seltzer. Dude, you guys are so
Go
embarrassing.
drink all the seltzers. All right, that wrap it up for this episode. We'll get into the playoff conversation, I think, in the next episode because we're already running up on 50 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah.
Getting closer into the playoffs, so things getting heated, man.
Things are getting real. Things are getting real. I want to give a shout out to everybody that left comments in the chat. Our boy Rich. Let's see. Rios. Yeah, Rios. I'll just go with Rios. And then Chazzy B Cams. Anybody else that left comments, really appreciate it. Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe. All that good stuff.
Nice. Shout out to you guys, man. Hope you guys are enjoying a beer. Let us know what you guys are drinking on.
Yeah, let us know. And check us out. We're going to do our next episode. We're just going to record it, release it next week. We'll be looking at week 16. And I don't have a countdown for the Super Bowl, but I'll guess and say bonus Super Bowl this year. I don't know how many days, but cheers.
Not happening.
Cheers. Wait, what was the